Hi and welcome to the video. I'm Dame and this is Dame Over, and today we are taking a look at aggressive sniping and whether the aggressive playstyle when using the scout class in Battlefield 1 is dead now that the meta is so heavily favouring the medic class. So if you find this video useful or entertaining, make sure you hit that like button before you go, and if you're new around here and want to keep up to date with my content, then make sure you hit the subscribe button too. I spent time playing with mostly infantry variants of scout rifles, but I personally like carbine variants a little bit more, so in the footage you'll see various scout guns mostly at close ranges to play into the close range sweet spots most of them have. This video has sort of come about since making my Is This the Worst Class video, which if you haven't seen I've left a link to in the description, where I discussed the current medic meta and how it's drastically affected the support class. So I decided to look into how it had also affected the aggressive sniper playstyle, along with how the other big changes since the new year have also changed things up for one of the most popular ways to play in Battlefield 1. So here's what I found out had happened. Medics are now, as they were supposed to be after the TTK 2.0 patch, far more capable of taking down scouts at range. The same is true for the support class too, but not nearly to the same degree. And since we're talking about playing as an aggressive scout, the assault class's reduced time to kill also does play a part. This is all translated into an increased difficulty when playing aggressively as a scout. It's harder to get into position to use the shorter range sweet spots to their full advantage, and when you do get in close there's far less room for error as you die faster. And let's not forget the big reduction to auto aim and rotation that was brought in on console back in December 2017, making the use of infantry scout rifles more difficult and generally making aiming a bit harder. Now this all seems pretty negative at this point, but from my experience over the last few days getting the footage for this video, I found that it's still more than possible to do very well as an aggressive scout. And there's no real big secret to it, there are no glitches to take advantage of, and thankfully not just one overpowered weapon to stick to so you can dominate in every match. There are, however, some important tips I can give you and things to be aware of that might help you out. These are general tips though, and obviously there are exceptions to every rule, so it's important to be adaptable and use your best judgment in every situation. First of all, prioritise your targets. It's more important to do this now than it has been before, as the player base in general are aware of the meta and are sticking to using it. So if you've got a choice between a support and a medic at mid-range, target the medic. At close quarters, get rid of the assault class first, etc, etc. In general though, because of the ranges you'll find yourself in, most often, targeting medics first should be top of that list. Secondly, always go in with backup. You'll again in general need a split second longer to aim than the other classes, as spraying bullets isn't an option. So having a few teammates near you to draw fire from the other team is always a good idea. You'll find yourself picking up kills on already injured opponents more often this way too, so if you aren't in the one-shot sweet spot range for your weapon, you'll still be able to affect the game. Which brings us on to number 3, the one-shot sweet spots, the importance of which is very obvious. And I know it seems silly to say, but learn what the one-shot sweet spots are for the guns you choose. Learn what it looks like on the map. Use landmarks in the environment to help you sight the range. I found some maps play far better to the one-shot sweet spot for some scout rifles than others, so you might consider changing weapons depending on the map. Another really important part of aggressive sniping is staying alive, and to do that you need to stay on the move. Try to remain slippery and unpredictable. Pop shooting is a great idea instead of just standing in the open for extended periods of time, and using your flares defensively, that is lighting up the area near yourself to see where the other team is attacking from, is a very important tool to use. Lastly, practice. Take the time to learn how to shoot quickly and effectively. Practice how to acquire targets with speed and accuracy. Aside from advising you to have your target as close to the center of the screen as possible before you aim down sight, there isn't really much else I can tell you to help. A lot of the higher skill weapons, which scout rifles are, require your muscle memory to guide you, as you'll often be making snap decisions. So having the foundations of solid aiming and accuracy under pressure is vital. And at this point, I'm sure you're all wondering what scout rifles are currently the best when playing as an aggressive scout. And without going into huge detail and turning this video into a podcast because it's so long, my top 4 are the Gewehr M95. It's not a one-hit kill, but its higher than average damage and ability to stay scoped in when you shoot makes it very capable of taking on enemies in CQB and at longer ranges too. The Arasaka is next, another straight pull sniper rifle. With its very short range sweet spot and high fire rate, it particularly excels when you're pushing an objective. Thirdly, we've got the SMLE, always a solid choice, and with a 10-round mag is great for those linear maps and counter sniping in particular. And that one-shot sweet spot is suited to lots of sightlines in a large number of maps as well. Finally, number 4, the Martini Henry Infantry, which as we all know has been heavily nerfed over the last 6 months, but is still incredibly powerful and very satisfying to use as well. The extra damage per shot it has over the other sniper rifles means it has the potential to cause big problems for every class, and the sweet spot starting at 30 meters means you can comfortably PTFO, which is after all the whole point of playing as an aggressive scout. And to answer the question that I posed at the beginning of the video, is aggressive sniping dead now? And I don't think it is. It's still one of the most fun ways to play in my opinion, and it's definitely one of the most challenging, especially considering how much more difficult it is now since all of the nerfs and different patches have been added to the game. It's definitely not the easiest way to play, but that extra bit of skill you need makes it even more satisfying as a result. But this is just what I think. Do you think aggressive sniping is dead? Which is your favourite aggressive sniper rifle? And have you got any challenge ideas you'd like to see me do? Make sure you let me know down in the comments below. And a quick thank you to my awesome patrons. You guys are helping me get closer to being able to make content full time, so thank you. And if you guys want to become a patron yourself, I've left a link to my Patreon page in the description, and I'll leave one in my pinned comment as well, where you can support the channel from as little as $1 a month if you'd like to. So if you had a good time, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button too. Make sure you've hit that bell button so you get guaranteed notifications of any new posts I make. Feel free to share this video with whoever and wherever you like. And until next time, that's Dame over. Peace.